Hey guys, it's CWillyHD here, finally bringing you guys a new episode of Game Breakers. This time, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This surprising Switch title comes packed with 3 pretty amazing 3D Mario games, Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. So I'm here to showcase 5 glitches you can do in each of the games. Nintendo didn't really bother cleaning up these games, so almost all the glitches from the original releases of them are still possible. Everything from getting out of bounds, messing up the game's texture storage, breaking physics, and a whole lot more. So let's get started. Kicking it off with Super Mario 64, a really cool one you can do in a whole bunch of levels. Some will have these little crates you can pick up and get a few coins out of. Instead of doing that though, simply pick up the box and crouch to put it back down. A countdown has just started that will despawn the box after 30 seconds. Right before it does, and as it's flashing, pick the box back up. If you did this within the last few frames where the box still spawned in, you've done the glitch. You'll see the effect shortly after you begin to walk away. The box will disappear from Mario's hands and he'll either begin to hold nothing or random textures from other objects that got loaded into memory. You can hold a wide variety of things, such as a Goomba, a coin that randomly stopped its spinning animation, and little things like this bubble. The fun ends when you either take damage, grab a ledge, or chuck the item. Luckily, there are boxes in other levels. Whomp's Fortress has one you can do the glitch with, but it takes a long time to actually know if you got it or not. I guess this box stays loaded in memory for a good amount of the level, as half of the struggle of doing it in this world is getting far enough away to actually see any effects. If you do manage to reach all the way up here, the box will finally despawn and you can start holding other things. I couldn't keep it for long, but I ended up holding an entire platform from the fortress at one point, which was pretty neat, but it quickly changed over to a little smoke cloud. Shifting Sandland also has a box, and luckily you'll see the effects of this one almost immediately after you pull it off. I managed to hold the head of a Pokey standing just behind me, with matching blinking animations and everything. While there is not a lot of real use to this glitch, it's definitely one of my favorites as you can just get a bunch of funny results. The best advice I can give you if you're having trouble timing the box grab is starting a timer in sync with when you place the box down, and right as it hits 30 seconds, pick it back up. It worked for me as I got some of the boxes on my first try. Enjoy! Sticking to this theme of holding weird objects, why not hold Mario's hat while you run around the level? In Bomb on Battlefield, come over to this red wing cap box and bust it open. Don't pick it up though, instead just let it sit there up against the wall, and as it begins to despawn, the box will reappear again, and this time break it open and collect the first cap. As this animation is playing, the other wing cap should just land right on Mario, which causes this. Mario is now just holding his wing cap in his hand permanently. He'll never put it on. This creates some interesting visuals as you run around the map doing whatever you do. The wing cap theme is still playing, and you can still take flight by triple jumping or launching yourself out of a cannon. It obviously looks really weird seeing Mario holding his hat like this while he's gliding around. When the power-up does wear off, Mario will still be holding his regular cap like before. Not as interesting as the wing cap, but it's still something you could never do before. There's also some interesting side effects when you try and grab items. They just disappear. I'm guessing because Mario was technically already holding an object, so it just makes the other one invisible, but he's still holding it anyway. Bomb-ombs are also strange, as when you pick them up, they'll still emit smoke even though you can't see them, but when they're supposed to blow up, they don't. Mario just stops holding the object and you don't take any damage. I'm not sure why they don't, but the bomb-omb did eventually come back in an interesting way. I grabbed another wing cap, which I found is one of the only ways that corrects this glitch, and hopped into the cannon. I was flying over top of the mountain and a bomb just appeared out of thin air and blew up. Almost like it disappearing before the explosion earlier stored the bomb, and something I did while flying around brought it back. I don't really have an explanation for this whole sequence, and I don't even know how I triggered it to spawn there of all places. Anyway, while there are wing cap boxes in other levels, Bomb on Battlefield seems to be the only place you can do this glitch in. Thanks to this wall, the cap stops sliding all over the place, allowing us to collect 2 at the same time. Other levels don't really have this, as they kinda just have a mind of their own. Regardless, another fun visual glitch that's easy to do and gives you some neat results. This next one you might have heard of already, getting upstairs in the castle with only 16 stars. As soon as you collect 15, Mips the rabbit will spawn in the basement. Chase him around until you get a hold of him, and a star will spawn. You don't actually have to collect it though. Just carry him over to the exit door like you're leaving the basement. Shove Mario up against the door and hold slightly right so he begins to slide along it. Pay attention to the shadow Mips casts, as it will disappear when you get to the edge of the door. When it does, hold either ZR or ZL. Mario will crouch down and pop inside the door. You're on the right track, and now all you gotta do is turn around while you're crouched down, face Mips, and stand up. Without moving the control stick, pick him back up, turn him around, and place him on the other side of the door. Now just have Mario walk through the door and you'll be able to pick Mips back up on the other side. We have to do this clip one more time on the 30 star door, and it's a very similar technique. Push Mario up against the door, slide to the right, and once Mip's shadow disappears, crouch. Mario will again pop inside the door and you're free to run inside and enter Dire Docks. We need to collect 1 star in here in order to shift the painting back, so grab one and you'll be able to enter Bowser in the Fire Sea. Chuck him at a bomb, grab the key, and boom, you're all done. You actually can't leave through the star door as you still need 30 stars to open it, so you gotta either enter Dire Docks or Bowser again. Pause and select exit to end up back in the main area of the castle. Run up the stairs and you're free to pop the key in and head upstairs with only 16 stars. Normally, this glitch is used in speedruns in order to beat the entire game with only 16 stars, but you can't backwards long jump in this version of the port. So, this is where the glitch ends, sadly. It's still a fun glitch to do though, and being able to access these levels early is a nice bonus. While you're still upstairs, there's another glitch we can do in Tall Mountain. As soon as you land in the level, turn around on this little block. You want to run and long jump at this wall while being slightly to the left side of this block. Aim for this spot in the wall, and if you got the right position, Mario will just clip right through the wall and land in water on the other side. Be careful not to swim too far inward or you'll just fall to your death. So once the camera cooperates, you can have a look around. It's neat seeing the level from this way as you can see parts of it you're never supposed to see. Once you're done admiring the view though, swim over to this corner. As soon as it looks like you would fall out, you'll be randomly warped to this patch of water up above. Again, once the camera decides not to do this, you'll notice you're up above on a different part of the level. For some reason that corner out of bounds warps you up here, allowing you to reach the upper parts of the mountain a lot faster. So whether you're speedrunning the game, or simply don't want to climb up the lower parts of the mountain every time you enter the level, try this one out. For the final glitch in Mario 64, I wanted to show off something weird you can do with Bowser. In the first of its stages, Bowser in the Dark World, reach the boss fight and bring him over to the edge. Throw him off so he just jumps back onto the stage, but while this is happening, we need to grab his tail while he's still in the air. I did this by doing a side flip dive, but there are other ways. Anyway, once you successfully grab him and kind of snap back down to the ground, you need to throw him at a bomb. Once you do, Bowser will be sent flying across the map, way further than he's supposed to. That's not it though. He'll try and jump back onto the stage, come up short since he's so far away, and then magically snap back to the middle of the arena. The whole sequence is just interesting. I guess grabbing his tail while he's still in the air messes up his momentum, and getting hit by a bomb just releases some of that stored movement. So this is the result. It's also strange that it doesn't count as defeating him either. I guess he didn't land back on the stage after hitting a bomb, so the game couldn't carry out the ending sequence, and him being warped back to the stage allowed him to have a second life. I had no idea this glitch even existed before researching this video, so maybe you guys didn't know about this one either. Switching over to Super Mario Sunshine, let's start it off with a pretty fun one to mess around with. After unlocking Yoshi, head into episode 2 of Pinna Park. Get on Yoshi, walk over to Monty Mole, and once you get close, he'll start chucking bombs. Try not to touch them at all, and after 4 bombs are out, quickly spray them with Yoshi before one explodes. With these 4 platforms out, Monty will throw another one, so hop off Yoshi, spray the bomb, and try and pick it up. This can be tricky as it just despawns within seconds, but if you do manage to grab hold of it, the fun begins. Monty Mole's never supposed to throw out a 5th bomb, but since we tricked the game with Yoshi, you'll now be holding one with some interesting properties. Your movement will be all skewed, such as jumping, running, and even standing still will cause Mario to slide around all over the place. It's fun to mess around with and just an overall neat visual glitch. When you're done flopping around on the shore, you can just triple jump in order to trigger this. Now Mario is endlessly hopping on thin air, which causes him to constantly rise. You can go up however far you'd like. It gives you a great view of Isle Delfino, the low resolution worlds around the island, and some glitchy textures that you're never supposed to see. When you've reached a comfortable altitude, you can chuck the bomb, which will just go straight down, and then Mario will begin his descent. You can get some final views of the whole place, and then finally land back on solid ground. Or water. But yeah, it's one of my favorite glitches from this game, and it's pretty easy to pull off, so enjoy. Next up is a glitch just as cool. This time we only need to be in Delfino Plaza, but we need the rocket nozzle. Equip it and run over to the blue coin hut. Stand outside the door here, as close as you can to the wall, and charge the rocket nozzle. Right as you blast off, hold forward. If you got your position correct, Mario will pop inside the room of the hut, but with this height, if we dive, you'll pass right through the wall and immediately notice the glitch in action. Mario will land back into Delfino Plaza with the buildings, land, and other textures completely gone. The collision is still there, so you're able to run around and explore like normal. All the objects like fruit and shine sprites are still loaded, but you can't reach them any easier using this glitch. Guiding yourself around can be a little difficult at times, but hey, that's why you have the rocket nozzle. Just shoot up into the sky and dive down to any area you want. Once you've had enough, you can reset the effects of this glitch by entering a world. Normally, episode 3 Mysterious Hotel Delfino in Serena Beach is a pretty long and complicated shine. You gotta run through all these hotel rooms, rafters, and it can be kind of a headache. But we can skip all that and go right into the pool room with the shine. How? With a banana, of course. Grab one from the stand in the lobby and head all the way up to the 3rd floor. With the squirt nozzle out, push Mario's back up against the wall of the pool so he's facing straight ahead. Now hold down R so Mario enters sidestep mode. Press A to backflip, hold up, and right when Mario's at the peak of his flip, press Y to throw the banana. If timed correctly, you'll clip right through the wall inside the pool room with the shine, saving you a lot of time on this whole episode. If you don't want to skip the mission though, you can use this trick to clip through walls basically anywhere you want. Just repeat holding down R, pressing A, holding the control stick in the direction of the wall, and pressing Y. I don't think there's any other useful clips or rooms you can get into unless you're hunting for blue coins, but it's still a fun trick regardless. Moving on to Gelato Beach, there's a way we can walk underwater. As you can see, since it's a beach, there is a lot of water, and a beautiful coral reef. Swimming around these areas is great and all, but running around them would be even more interesting. So let's do that. When you get into the world, head over to the right and grab the rocket nozzle. Then head to the back upper section with this set of stairs. Stand in this corner pushed up against the top row and charge a rocket. Right as it's about to go off, jump and hold forward. You'll shoot up, and when you think you land back on the grassy hillside, Mario just pops right through the world out of bounds. You'll fall for a while, but when you finally regain control of Mario, you have to keep jumping repeatedly. We're below the level in a blue void, so if you were to stop jumping, you'd die right on the spot. Keep jumping while heading towards the hut and the coral reef. When you're by this little wooden boardwalk, rocket nozzle upwards and you'll snap right to the bottom of the seafloor. As you walk around, you might notice that Mario just begins swimming even though we're technically below where the surface of the water is. This can be fixed by swimming down towards the rock sticking out of the ground. And soon enough, Mario begins walking again. You're not free to hop up into the coral reef and explore. Even though we get to swim around here regularly, it's a lot better just jumping and running around. To me, anyway. You can stick around here and collect the 8 red coins in a new way, or you can jump down and explore the rest of the ocean. I managed to get a hold of this annoying fish and have him drive me down to the floor where I just jumped up from. It's kinda weird seeing this as he's only supposed to work in water, and Mario just goes right back to walking. At certain spots of the seafloor, Mario's speed will just magically change to this, with his animation speeding up as well. I'm not entirely sure why this even happens, but I'm not really complaining. It's super cool to mess around with. It beats having to swim around all over the place. So you can grab blue coins, or just see out into the depths of the ocean, until you hit an invisible barrier surrounding the whole level. But still, this glitch has a lot to it, so I definitely recommend this one. If you followed Mario Sunshine for a long time, you may have heard about this book. In Noki Bay's episode 3 Red Coins in a Bottle, there are these ruins at the bottom. Inside one of these little crevices, there's a door with a book behind it. You normally can't access it, it can only get a glimpse of it by manipulating the camera. There is a way to get in there though. Leave the little area, back up, and gently hover towards the top of the opening. If you position yourself well enough, Mario will clip in between the floor and the ceiling and you can now just glide right into the mysterious room. The camera doesn't cooperate with you at all during this, but you are in the room with the book. You can slide over to it, touch it, and attempt to get a better view of its model, but again, the camera ain't helping you at all here. Can you actually interact with the object at all? No, but it's still satisfying finally getting into this room after all these years. It's unknown what this book was actually meant to do during the game, as it's clearly cut content that never got implemented. Anyway, once you're done with the headache of this view, you can simply clip back out or die. Moving over to Super Mario Galaxy, we kinda have 2 glitches in one here. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I want to show you guys first how to climb up slopes. Obviously, trying to run or jump up slippery slopes isn't possible, normally, but there's a pretty simple trick in order to do it. You gotta start off sliding on your butt, so I'd recommend just backflipping onto the slope. Then as you're sliding, point the control stick in the direction Mario is sliding, jump, flip your control stick to the direction you want to go, and spin. Repeat this process and you can get up any slope you want. Just for reference, in this example, I'm pressing down, then jump, and holding up while I spin. So yeah, I'd recommend practicing on a big slope like this one in Honey Hive Galaxy. When you think you've got it down, let's head over to the actual glitch I wanted to show off in Freezeflame Galaxy. Select the mission Hot and Cold Collide, and once you reach the second planet, drain the water and drop this door down. Now come over to this platform and time a triple jump so your second one lands just on the beginning of the edge of the wood here. Then on your third jump, shake so you have enough height to get to one of these slopes. Now you gotta do the trick I talked about a second ago, so point your control stick in the direction Mario's facing, jump, and hold back up so you climb up this slope. Then simply wall kick, shake, and hold back so Mario lands on the top of the planet out of bounds. In this first example, I pointed my stick right, jumped, and held left to gain height. Anyway, once you're up here, you're free to explore the top part of the planet you're never supposed to be on. This means the gravity, textures, and collision are all wacky. You'll sometimes be walking right through the ground, or the camera will just not cooperate at all. But you can get some pretty cool views this way, like this one of Mario just floating out in the middle of space. While there's a lot of neat stuff to mess around with, there's also some random patches of freezing water. I'd just randomly fall into them, and since I'd be so disoriented, I couldn't escape and just died. It's not too hard to get back up on top though, so it's all good. I had a good time just running around and taking in the views from this beautiful game. Running over to the edges also allows you to look down on sections of the actual level and land just about wherever you want. Overall, I love out of bounds glitches, so being able to do this on top of a planet is pretty neat. Staying in the same galaxy, this time head into Freezeflame's Blistering Core mission. Reach the final area and find a Cinder enemy just floating around. With a fire flower active, spin to cause it to fall into the lava, and then throw a fireball where it landed. It should create this massive glitchy ball. You may notice your game slows down a little, but it gets even worse if you enter first person and look right at it. The game speed plummets way below what it should be, as you can see with the HUD fading onto the screen and the star bits exploding. But immediately after you look in a different direction, or exit first person entirely, the game picks itself back up. It honestly just depends on how close you are to it. I stood all the way back here and just stared at it, and the game didn't show any signs of chugging. As for correcting this, there's not a whole lot you can do. I wanted to see what would happen if you threw another fireball, and surprisingly it stopped for a brief second before picking it back up, which gave me another idea, trying to create two of these balls side by side. Sadly, it didn't break the game like I thought it would. It honestly didn't even slow down the game anymore from what I could tell. But still, it's a neat visual trick I wanted to mess around with and wanted to try again on the Switch to see if I'd get the same results. Moving on to a glitch in Loopdeeswoop Galaxy, this is normally a pretty tricky racing level with motion controls, but we're not here to do that. Deny the penguin's request, and instead we're going to be using him as a trampoline. Line up his head and the yellow shine gate thing behind him. Stand a little ways away, backflip, and perform a homing ground pound while holding up. Mario should bounce off him and get sent flying towards the watery racetrack. You'll land on one of the edges of the shine arch, so carefully turn around and long jump into the water. And yeah, now you're free to swim around the racetrack and take all the time you want. You're never supposed to be here without riding the manta, so swimming can be a little difficult at times. You'll see the water textures glitch out a good bit, which makes it hard to move, but I was able to make it all the way around the track. You can get some pretty cool views from certain parts of the level as well. You also can't fall through the bottom of the water as there's an invisible wall. However, you can fall off the sides, which is obviously going to cause you to die and respawn riding the manta. You can also snap onto him if you swim too close in the beginning, so be aware of that. But yeah, have fun exploring this entire galaxy in a way you're never supposed to as just Mario alone. The B Mario power-up can be pretty handy, whether you're gliding over large gaps or reaching high places. But you also lose it by touching the smallest drop of water. So let's do a glitch that allows us to just flat out swim as a bee. Enter Seaslide Galaxy's Silver Star mission, and right off the bat you'll see this green shell and a bee mushroom encased in glass. Stand on the edge of the dock, throw the green shell, and hit the mushroom. Turn the camera to the right once, and just as the mushroom bounces a second time, pan the camera away from it entirely. Now long jump out towards the island and pan the camera back around. The bee mushroom should just fall right through the island and land on the sea floor. You can now just scoop it up and bam, Bee Mario underwater. Obviously, since the game never anticipates this, it can be a little finicky to swim around. Mario won't even be facing the right direction at times, as well as just standing straight up. Even though there's a fly meter on the screen, Mario is still losing air and can drown. So make sure you surface every once in a while to refill, but don't completely get out of the water or you'll lose it. Oh, and you can also get this animation if you ground pound back down underwater. Does this glitch actually do anything useful? Absolutely not, but it's still a fun one to mess around with. This one's going to be rather quick and simple, but hopefully it'll help some of you guys out. Bubble Breeze Galaxy has a single star that's a little tricky, and I personally died plenty of times trying to collect it. So after taking the launch star over to the second area of the level, don't even enter a bubble. Instead, walk towards the edge of these rocks and backflip onto them. Mario will land on an invisible platform, which I guess is meant to stop the bubble from going out of bounds. But now you can just stand on it, long jump to the right, and you'll be at the star, potentially saving you from a lot of pain and deaths this level can bring you. So there were 5 glitches in each game Super Mario 3D All-Stars has to offer. I hope I was able to shine some light on a couple glitches you guys didn't know about, and others that are just fun to mess around with. I also apologize for such a big gap in between uploads. I was finishing up my semester at college, but now that I'm back home, the grind continues. Definitely expect a lot more videos in the coming weeks, and maybe some other surprises here and there. But for now, I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, see ya!